What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever these videos drop. And please make sure that you're hitting the like and share button in order to help me beat up the algorithm so we can get this message out to the ears that needs to hear. And with that being said, family and friends, the Biden administration is desperate. They're desperate as hell. Nothing that they're doing or saying to Black Americans are working. See, what they want to do is they want to keep Black Americans on the Democratic plantation, but they don't want to offer us nothing for us to stay. And they're starting to see a decline in a way that they've never seen before in history. Black Americans are telling the Biden administration to their faces, get somebody else to do it. Go get those illegal invaders that you love so much, that you claim built the country, to vote for you. Go get the Ukrainians to vote for you. Go get the Palestinians to vote for you. Go get the Jewish Americans to vote for you. Black Americans are saying get someone else to do it. We ain't doing it this time around. And this is causing such a problem. Every other day you're seeing more and more articles come out speaking about how Biden is losing more and more of the black vote. More and more of his approval rating is going down into the dumps. And so, when I say they're getting desperate, this is no understatement. But they don't know how to do nothing new. They don't know how to do nothing new. All the old stuff that they were doing, like the shaming, the name calling, the blame shifting, the bootlicking, none of that's working. So what do? They go back into their old handy dandy notebook and they pull out one of their old plays. And they pull out one of their old plays because they have nothing new. They're not original. They're not original. So, they pull this move. Biden-Harris campaign appoints director of black media for enhanced outreach to black voters. Same move. Same symbolic nonsense. That means absolutely nothing for the black community. Oh, but people will try to convince you that this is a good thing for black Americans, for foundational black American freedmen. Another victory without a victory. One you can talk about, but you can't show me. As Malcolm X stated. One you can talk about, but you can't show me. The Democrats been running around here talking about all these victories, but they can't show the black community anything of the such. Any of the sort. You can't show us not one victory that was for the black community. And when I say for the black community, don't go bringing up everybody or anything that was made for everybody. Because all these other groups were getting direct tangibles specifically for them. specifically for them. They're getting direct tangibles. But the black community, we get symbolic gestures. We get people getting hired to try and tune up their messaging, expand their outreach. But it means, and it absolutely does nothing for our community. Here you're giving billions of dollars to a bunch of illegals who've never paid taxes here. They're getting houses. In California, they're trying to pass a bill that allows these illegal invaders to get no mortgage down payments. No mortgage, no down housing loans. Which means they will be funded to purchase a house and wouldn't have to pay the balance of the house or pay a mortgage until after the house was sold. Where in the hell is Black Americans getting treatment like that? $1,000 to $9,000 per family, depending on where you're going in America. Free clothing. Free food. And they ain't got to pay a lick of taxes. Biden is treating them like they are the descendants of the slaves when they're not. When they're not. But yet they give us symbolic gestures like Jasmine Harris here, who thinks she's going to be able to come out into our community and tell us why we need to vote for them. But that's a no for us. Randy Jackson used to say, it's a no for me, dog. And Black Americans is telling Biden, Harris, and every one of those Democrats, it's a no for me, dog. Let's get into this article because we have another area we're going to jump into that's actually, because this isn't the part that I want to show you that shows that Biden and them are getting desperate. This is just the same old playbook in a different area of the government. But the next clip I'm going to show you will show you how desperate they're becoming. So let's get into this article, family. With hopes of strengthening its connection with the Black voters, the Biden-Harris 2024 campaign has hired Jasmine Harris as the director of Black media. Harris, who previously held a similar role for Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, announced via email that she would spearhead the campaign's effort to engage and mobilize Black communities. I don't know how you're going to do that without a transformative Black agenda. I don't know how you're going to do that without speaking about reparations. I don't know how you're going to do that because you can't bring that nonsense that, hey, Black unemployment is at its lowest. No, it isn't. As I did a broadcast on the other day. Ask about the U6 number. Not the U3 number that they use to fool Black Americans into thinking that unemployment has gone down. Use the U6 number. And if you say that to them, I guarantee you, they're going to be sitting there trying to go all around, trying to stay away from that point. let's continue. The decision follows the Biden-Harris re-election campaign's significant investment in early ad purchases targeted at Black communities. More than a year ahead of the up-and-coming election day on November 5th. You putting all this money in the ads. You're putting money into targeting Black Americans rather than actually targeting Black Americans and giving us the funds. Instead of targeting Black communities and bringing funding to those communities. But I digress. However, despite tens of millions in ad buys directed at African Americans, the campaign still haven't included the Black press of America. Well, you can't include the Black press because the only Black press that really matters is the new Black media. Ain't nobody out here rocking with these bootlicks out here that claim to be the Black press in America. They're not out here representing Black policy. They're not out here representing for reparations and a transformative Black agenda. So what makes you think that these people or anybody outside of the new Black media has any sway with Black Americans when Black Americans have moved away from the mainstream media? Especially if they're smart, they moved far away from the mainstream media. Especially if they found the new Black media. The trade association, the National Newspaper Publishing Association, represents the 250 African American owned newspapers and media companies that comprise the Black press of America. Founded before the end of slavery in 1827 in New York. The Black press of America? Has anybody ever heard of this? Has anybody ever heard of this? And if you have heard of it, have they ever spoken about reparations, a transformative Black agenda? Have they been hammering it into people's heads in every newspaper article or any segment that they do in their so-called Black media companies? In 1827, that's a very long time to be established. Why aren't we hearing more demands from Black Americans within these so-called Black media's companies? Just a question. Since they've been established since 1827. The Black press of America, which includes the Washington Informer. Hold up. I think that's where this article is from. It's the Washington Informer. Okay, so I'm reading from one of these so-called Black presses in America. So basically what they're saying is, y'all ain't bringing no money to us. Y'all ain't bringing no money to us. I mean, you're saying that you're bringing millions of dollars, tens of millions to Black media, but we ain't touched none of that. So they're going to put, and I have a feeling, because this is my first time reading the article with you guys, I have a feeling that they're going to put a lot of emphasis on how they need to pull out the black vote. Something like Roland Martin be doing. But let's continue and find out. The Black Press of America, which includes the Washington Informer, has reached out on multiple occasions to the Biden-Harris campaign. Who does that sound like? Roland Poly Martin? The Democratic National Committee and the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Still, Quentin Folks, the principal deputy campaign manager, emphasized to the grill. That's who they're calling black press, black media. He emphasized to the grill the importance of mobilizing the diverse Biden-Harris coalition that secured their victory in 2020. See, it was no coalition. It was black folks. It was black folks that put Biden over in every swing state that he won. But you need to put together this coalition. You need to secure this coalition. This is supposed to be black media talking right here. Black voters are a critical part of that winning coalition. No shit, Sherlock. Where did you find the clue? We are the reason why Democrats win or lose. No one else. People trying to make these Palestinian voters relevant when their vote isn't relevant whatsoever. They have less than a 0.5% of a vote in America. 100,000 uncommitted. What the hell is 100,000 uncommitted when black Americans been uncommitted by the millions? By the millions. But they're trying to take a page from our book, and then the Democrats want to wag a finger at us while they're sitting there trying to drop aid over in Palestine because of 100,000 uncommitted votes. I tell you what. I will tell you what. We'll keep our votes, and you can take that 100,000 uncommitted vote and see if you win with that. And see if you win with that. He also highlights the campaign's historical and early investment in black media, starting in August 2023, and its on-ground organizing initiatives in key communities. So basically what they're saying is they've been giving millions of dollars money to these bootlicks, Roland Poly Martin, Roly-Poly Martin, to run around and run interference. To run around and run interference. So the organizing initiatives they're talking about were the things like the ceremony that I did a broadcast on the other day when they brought $50 million to TSU for environmental justice or whatever. Instead of taking it to the black community and investing in the black community directly. And I asked Representative Ron Reynolds that exact same question when he told me, well, this comes from grants. And I told him, well, why don't we have grants like this going directly to the descendants of American slaves so that we can get out of the conditions that was put on us systemically? The man became Houdini and disappeared. As Jason Black said, the man became Batman and disappeared. I didn't know where he went. But y'all want to tell us how you're sending out people to organize us when you're sitting here doing all this for everybody else. And when we bring up our true issues, not the one you try to bring us, you literally become Houdini. Let's continue. There's no one better equipped to continue to build on the work and communicate the stakes of this election directly to black voters across the country. If you believe the stakes are so high, you should be offering us what we deserve, which is actual policy for black Americans, foundational black Americans, and reparations. If democracy is on the line, like you say, like I was trying to tell Ron Reynolds, y'all keep saying democracy on the line, but y'all shilling out billions of dollars to everyone else who can't get you back in the White House. Let's continue. He said of Harris, who expressed gratitude for the opportunity to work on with the campaign. Black reporters and outlets must always have a seat at the table as it relates to our nation's political leadership. No. Your constituents should have a seat at the table. And black reporters and black media should be echoing our stipulations, our agenda to politicians. However, that's not how it works, is it? No, because y'all know our issue and you know what we want. We tell people all the time what we want, but what you do is you take funding from these people and switch the narrative to something they say we want. And that's not how this works. So you're not going to sit here and try to convince us that you guys need a seat at the table when you guys are supposed to be echoing our sentiments. You're supposed to be echoing our policy. You're supposed to be the echo of our voices as black media, but you're not black media. You masquerade as black media. You masquerade as black media. And this is what you do. This is not a very hard thing to conceptualize. We've been sold out by the very same people who claim to be for us, by the very same people who claim to speak for us. And then wonder why you can't come to the neighborhoods and bring that nonsense to us. Democratic strategist Joel Payne praised the party's commitment to engaging with core constituents. There's no engagement. You wouldn't hire somebody to run interference for the Democratic Party to the black community. You didn't hire somebody who actually can put something together for the black community and say, this is what they need, this is what you guys should give them. Hell, you don't need to hire anybody for that. You could just do it the same way you're doing it for everyone else. You could just sign a hate crime bill in the office. Y'all have no problem giving the Asians hate crime bills whatsoever. And they don't even deal with hate crimes to the tune that we do. You did a whole bill for the Native Americans and police reform for them. When it's for anybody else, they just do. But when it comes to us, it's all this rigmarole. Let's continue. With core constituencies and applauded the Biden-Harris campaign's decision to appoint a director of black media. These types of investments and experienced staff show that the president and his team understands what it will take to keep their coalition together for 2024, Payne says. That statement right there shows you that Payne don't know what the hell he's talking about. Not just that. All it shows is that the Democratic Party and Joe Biden has been showing they ass to us. And we're not going for it. Y'all not getting any of us back on that plantation. You out here doing for everybody else and working us like slaves, thinking we're your slaves, we owe you our vote, when that's not the case. When that's not the case. And I just noticed this article right here that says Obama, Clyburn worry over Biden's campaign struggle to win black voters. See, I ain't even read that article. Maybe I'll read that article and do a broadcast on that later. However, this just goes to show you that they're so disconnected from the black community that they believe that they could actually come in and convince us otherwise. Convince us that the Democratic Party actually give a fuck about the black community when they don't. Try to convince us that they actually did something for the black community when they didn't. Try to convince us that voting for the Democratic Party would be in our benefit when it won't be. Right now, Biden, not just, and this, I want to be very clear about this, not counting the people who are storming the border. Biden has been flying in 30,000 illegals per month. 30,000 illegals per month. Just won a Supreme Court case where the courts, the lower courts, not the highest courts, but the courts basically said, no, we're not going to shut down this program. You can continue to bring in those 30,000 illegals a month. And they're dropping them off in black neighborhoods. These illegals get to fly for free. We don't get to fly for free. So when it comes to this situation, you talk about your coalition. Oh, go get those people to vote for you. Be a part of your coalition. I know that's the plan for later on, but guess what? They can't do that right now. But guess who can? We can. We can. Now, let me show you how desperate they're becoming. I believe that's the end of, that's the end of the article. Now I want to show you how desperate they're becoming. They're becoming very desperate.
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. He was the star of Black Panther that died today at the age of 43.
I'm always ready for a war again. Go down that road again. It's all the same. I got a dream.
One thing.
We gonna work it out.
One thing.
We gonna work it out.
One thing.
We gonna work it out. In a world of internet lies, we all look for love.
You're listening and tuning into
the station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Classic Radio. Broadcasting live.
They say doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. I say it's stupidity. We as Black Americans have been voting for the Democrats with over 90% of our votes going to them for the past 60 years. And what do we have to show for it? I'll tell you, we are 15 to 20% of the population, but nearly 60% of the homeless. We have aborted over 20 million of our Black babies. Our wealth is heading backwards, and we own less homes now than we did during Jim Crow. I'm not saying vote for the Republicans. I'm saying don't vote for any party. Vote for good policies. If anyone comes to us and they ask for or demand the Black vote, you tell them to show me your Black policies.
I am Greg Marcel Dixon, and I approve this message.
Now, I don't know if this was one of the first things that Jasmine Harris decided to do as an outreach. But the Biden administration has been reaching out to different TikTok influencers, social media influencers, paying them to say nice things about the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. Oh no, I'm not making this up. And what we're seeing here, before I play this clip, I'm gonna play it in its entirety, and then we're gonna go back and go over some things. But before I play this clip, I want you all to understand this is exactly what they were doing with celebrities. And I'm pretty sure this Jasmine chick told them, well, why are you putting money into celebrities when you're trying to reach the youth? You need to be reaching out through these influencers. Because their followers will do whatever they tell them to do. So understand the diabolical ways that they use your own people against you. Shout out to this sister here who actually put it on blast what they're doing. Because they absolutely need to be put on Front Street about it. But it also goes to show exactly what we've been telling you for a long time in the new black media. These people are bought and paid for a reason. And it's to literally go against your interests and convince you to do the same. Let's listen to what the Queen has to say and we'll be back.
Political scam going around on TikTok, on social media in general. I've seen it like on Instagram too, but especially on TikTok, and I have proof. I received an email a couple days ago from the Biden administration, and I thought it was a scam because honestly, I've gotten so many scam emails from TikTok recently. I don't know what's going on, but I thought it was a scam at first, so I opened it. And I like to like mess with people who like try to scam me because, honey, I'm Nigerian. I'm always going to outsmart you, period. So I was like, it's a scam. Let me just like respond back to them. So I said, oh, they're like, yeah, we want you to speak positively about Joe Biden and the Biden administration and the Democratic Party in general on TikTok. Just one video. And I was like, why would they even ask me? Anyone who knows me knows I sit right in the middle when it comes to politics. Like, I don't go either way. And I was like, okay, that's strange. So I thought I should respond. I responded back. I said, what are the rates? Just messing with them. I knew I wasn't going to do it. And I said, what's your budget for this campaign? And they were like, name a price. So I thought, why not? Let me just throw a number out. So I said $25,000. Within seconds, they responded back, said, done. The only stipulation we have is that you do not mention that it's an ad. So you can't use hashtag ad. You cannot use hashtag paid partnership. You cannot toggle that thing. Just make it as natural as possible. And I responded back, if I was sitting in the middle before, if I didn't know who I wanted to vote before, thank you for making it very clear to me right now. Thank you so much and have a great day. Click. Yes, I was like, if they're sending me this email, clearly they didn't even do their due diligence because like anyone who knows me, people have always thought I was Republican, which I'm not, but people have always thought that because I do have very strong conservative values. I wonder how many other influencers they've reached out to. So I put it into the search bar on TikTok, and all of a sudden, so many videos of beauty influencers, skincare influencers talking about politics all of a sudden. They've never talked about it before. They're not using hashtag ads. They're not using hashtag paid partnership. They're literally scamming you. They're literally lying to your face and making it seem so seamless as part of their content. It's not. They're getting paid enough to pay off their mortgage, enough to go buy a brand new Rover, okay? These influencers will sell their integrity at the slightest chance they could. They will sell it like that. I say all this to say, be very careful who you watch on social media and be very careful what you digest on social media. I don't care who you vote for. You can be a Republican, Democrat. I welcome everybody from all walks of life on here. However, make sure you're voting because of your beliefs, because of what you believe in, right? If you choose to vote this election, which I think a lot of people are sitting out, but if you choose to vote this election, vote based on your morals, your values, your integrity, not because some influencer is getting paid to tell you to vote. I was shocked. I mean, it's still such a jarring experience for me because I'm like, why would a whole president need to pay a random influencer to speak highly of him? But that's where American politics have gone into. It's like a reality television. So be very careful if you see anyone talking about Biden all of a sudden and they don't talk about it before, they never talked about it before, they're getting paid to talk about him. I believe political scam going around.
Shout out to her for putting out that video. Like I said, this is most of the people that you're going to be seeing on TikTok. All these people that's literally vote blue no matter who have hundreds of thousands of views. Trust me when I say they're taking that money. They have hundreds of thousands of followers. They're going to take that money. And they're going to do that video. So when you see these people, blast them out. Let them know that we know that you are bought and paid for a bootlick. You sold your soul to get a couple of grand. $25,000, she said. They said done. Now, what if she would have went higher? What if she would have negotiated a couple of videos? She could be sitting on a couple of $100,000 if she wanted to do it that way. And trust me when I say there will be people who do it that way. But she said, why would a sitting president need me? Because he don't have the black vote. And you are black. So he wants to use your blackness as a muppetry, use you as a puppet, as a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party to other black people, namely black Americans. Which it isn't gonna work. But I'm glad you was smart enough not to take the cookie. I am so glad she was smart enough not to fall for the shenanigans. And then she put it on blast. How many more influencers are going to do the same? And when she said you need to watch who you are following or taking in, you need to. And when they show that all of a sudden they're bootlicking, you need to call them out, make a video about them or whatever, and unfollow them so that everyone who sees your video will unfollow them too. The bought and paid bootlicks are going down. All of them. Just because you took it out of the mainstream area and put it into the social media area don't mean it's going to change a damn thing. Our message is very clear. Our agenda is very clear. No tangibles, no vote, no reparations, no conversations, no policy. Don't even talk to me. We are here. The black grassroots we are standing on our square, and it is forcing them to run to social media because nothing else is working. While they're trying to actively ban TikTok, they're running over to TikTok and they're getting at these influencers, trying to drop off the bag so they can lie and speak highly of the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. And they want to make sure that you do not put this is an ad, hashtag ad, paid sponsorship. Isn't there a law? I'm gonna have to look into that because I believe that it's a law that says that if you are dealing with a sponsor and you're promoting them, you have to let your audience know it's a paid sponsorship. I'm gonna look into that, but this is what they're doing. That's hella desperate. That's hella desperate. You go and hire this woman, Jasmine Harris, and next thing you know, we're getting videos talking about y'all trying to hire influencers to speak highly of the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. And she's so confused on why they would come to her or why they would literally, a sitting president would need someone to do that for them. And bless her little heart, she's from Nigeria, so she don't get it. But Black Americans do. We've been telling people this for the longest. But she had enough sense to say, if I didn't know who I was going to vote for, thank you for helping me select who I was going to vote for. Because it's janky as hell. It's janky as hell. So family and friends, just know what we're doing is working. President Couch is looking real good for 2024. Because as I stated before, at least we know literally President Couch has our back. Literally President Couch has our back. And the Democratic Party, they're going to have to learn that fat meat ain't greasy. Excuse me, fat meat is greasy. I don't know why I said ain't. Fat meat is greasy. It's greasy as hell. And you ain't getting away from it. And you ain't getting away from it. So with that being said, family and friends, if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. Hit those like and share buttons on your way out so we can beat up this algorithm, so we can get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And leave me a comment and let me know what you think about Biden getting at these influencers, offering a pretty penny to lie to us, to promote the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. What do you think? Would you do that? Would you sit your integrity to the side and work for Joe Biden? Because that's essentially what you're doing by taking that money. You've become an employee of the Democratic Party. You've become a sock puppet. You've become a sock puppet. And also, let me know if you think that this Jasmine Harris woman, was she the person who spearheaded going after social media influencers? Because like I said before, they would just pay off these actors and entertainers. But people knew it wasn't genuine enough because people like myself would run around and tell them, hey, you believing an actor? They're paid to act. They don't have a dog in this fight. They just take the money and they act. Oh, you believe in this entertainer? He's an entertainer. He's paid to entertain. If he gets paid to act, he's going to act. Then you go and get a bunch of people that don't really make any type of money or really any type of sense. Those are the two people that they go and get. People who don't make that much money and people that don't make that much sense. Cardi B. But yet, we're here. We're here. But like I said, family and friends, make sure you're hitting that like button, the share button, so we can get this message out to the ears that need to hear. Drop a comment, let me know what you think about this situation. The doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.